Have you ever wondered what happens when a family's bonds break down and greed takes over? What if your loved ones, the people you've helped and cared for your entire life, suddenly turned against you? In today's video, we're diving into a heartbreaking story of betrayal, family conflict, and the price of self-interest. This story could make you rethink everything about trust, family, and what truly matters when we grow old. Stick with us until the end because the lessons here aren't just about what happens to one family. They're about how we all navigate our relationships, legacy, and choices as we age. You'll learn why sometimes, even when you've given everything, it's not enough to guarantee peace in your life. This video will show you why self-preservation is crucial, how to recognize signs of manipulation from those closest to you, and why your true wealth isn't what you think it is. Plus, we'll explore some surprising decisions this elderly man made that might just change the way you think about family, money, and your future. So, make sure to watch till the very end, because the shocking twists in this story may just change the way you approach your relationships in later life. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Drink warm water before sleep. Drinking warm water before bed is more than just a simple bedtime ritual. It's a powerful act of self-care that can bring profound health benefits, especially as we age. I've personally come to appreciate how this simple practice can make a world of difference, not only in how I sleep but in how I feel every single day. It's easy to overlook the little things, but drinking warm water before sleep is one of those habits that offers layers of advantages for both the body and the mind. For many people, the idea of drinking water before bed brings an immediate concern: the fear of waking up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. I get it, it's inconvenient, and no one wants to disrupt their precious rest. But here's the truth that many miss: the benefits far outweigh the minor inconvenience of an occasional bathroom trip. When we sleep, our bodies go through important processes of rejuvenation and repair, but it's also a time when blood flow thickens due to sweat. This is where warm water comes into play. It's like a gentle reset button for your body. A glass of warm water before bed thins the blood, helping reduce the risk of serious health problems, like heart attacks, strokes, and even angina. For those managing diabetes, it can also help regulate blood sugar levels, making it an easy, yet effective, addition to your routine. But beyond the physical benefits, the emotional and psychological advantages are equally profound. Something is comforting and soothing about that warm sip of water before turning in. It's a small gesture, but one that can help calm the storm of thoughts that often race through our minds at the end of a long day. We all know how stress and anxiety can keep us awake, turning over every worry. Dehydration has been linked to increased stress levels, and we all know how stress can spiral into a cycle of sleepless nights and emotional burnout. Drinking warm water before bed can help break that cycle. It hydrates your body, helping to ease tension and quiet the mind, allowing you to sink into a deeper, more restorative sleep. I've noticed that since I began making this a nightly habit, my mood has become more stable, and I wake up with a sense of calm I didn't have before. On top of all that, warm water before bed supports detoxification. The heat from the water gently raises your internal body temperature, which increases circulation and induces sweating. As your body sweats, it's naturally detoxifying itself, flushing out harmful toxins and waste. I find this process almost cathartic, as if I'm allowing my body to let go of the day's burdens. The evening is the ideal time for this cleansing, as the body's natural processes are in sync with the rhythms of detoxification. It's as though the simple act of drinking warm water before sleep is a kind of nightly reset, a way to close the chapter on the day and prepare for a fresh start. Let's not forget the little things, like how this warm water can ease physical discomforts, too. If you've ever suffered from a stomach ache or cramps, You'll know how uncomfortable and frustrating it can be when these pains show up unexpectedly at night. Drinking warm water helps soothe the digestive system and can ease stomach cramps. I found that this little comfort before bed gives me peace of mind, knowing that I'm doing something positive for my body. But, as with everything, moderation is key. Too much water can disrupt your sleep with trips to the bathroom. So a small, thoughtful sip is all you need to reap the benefits without interruption. In the hustle and bustle of life, it's easy to overlook the small acts that can have a big impact. Drinking warm water before sleep is a simple yet profound habit that nourishes both your body and soul. It's a tiny gift you give yourself at the end of each day, offering comfort, peace, and a sense of well-being. Why not embrace it as part of your nightly routine? You might just find, like I did, that it's one of the most nurturing practices you can add to your life. 2. Brush your hair before bed. Brushing your hair before bed is a simple yet profound practice that can do wonders for both your body and mind, offering a wealth of benefits that can help you feel younger, more relaxed, and deeply connected to yourself. For me, the act of brushing my hair before I sleep is like a personal ritual, a sacred moment of self-care that sets the tone for the night and carries me into a peaceful slumber. It's a gesture of tenderness toward my body, an act of nurturing that not only promotes relaxation but also offers a powerful way to combat the effects of aging. Brushing your hair before bed is more than just a grooming task. It's a small, mindful practice that can help prevent strokes and slow down the aging process. As we age, our bodies naturally experience changes. Our movements become slower, our thoughts not as sharp, and the vitality that once came so easily may seem to fade away. But brushing your hair can help reverse that trend, breathing new life into your scalp and mind. A comb with fine, evenly spaced teeth can work wonders in stimulating your scalp, which in turn promotes blood circulation to the head. As the comb moves through your hair, it not only untangles and smooths but also gently massages your scalp, releasing tension and making you feel relaxed and at ease, almost as if you're receiving a soothing massage that gently melts away the weight of the day. Beyond the relaxation benefits, brushing your hair can also help boost your mental clarity. The scalp is a vital area of the body, full of acupuncture points that correspond to various organs and systems. By stimulating these points with a comb, you're encouraging blood flow and preventing the blockages that can hinder circulation. This surge in circulation does more than just refresh your scalp. It invigorates your mind, helping you feel mentally sharp and more energized. The physical act of brushing before bed, therefore, becomes a powerful tool to fight the mental fatigue that can accumulate throughout the day. It's not just about looking younger. It's about feeling rejuvenated and more alive in your skin. For anyone who worries about hair loss, brushing your hair before bed is an essential step toward improving hair health. Letting your hair down at night gives your scalp a moment of rest, allowing it to breathe and relax. Many people avoid combing their hair because they fear losing too many strands in the process, but more often than not, the shedding comes from hair that is weak or malnourished. Applying a nourishing hair oil before brushing can be incredibly helpful. The fine teeth of the comb, when used gently, stimulate the hair follicles, improving blood circulation and encouraging new growth. I've found that brushing my hair 10 to 15 times before bed helps me unwind, and over time, I've noticed less hair loss and a fuller, healthier-looking scalp. What's even more fascinating is the way brushing your hair can influence your nervous system. Studies have shown that stimulating the nerve endings on your scalp can positively affect the autonomic nervous system, which controls crucial functions like heart rate and blood pressure. By brushing your hair gently, you help balance this system, which can reduce stress and even lower the risk of strokes. I've come to see this practice as an investment in my overall health, not just my appearance. It's a way of tending to both my inner and outer well-being, something I can do every night to nurture my body, mind, and soul. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Remember, though, that this isn't about rushing through the process. It's about embracing the act of brushing your hair with mindfulness and care. Choose a horn or wooden comb to avoid any harsh damage to your hair, and if you prefer, use your fingertips to gently massage your scalp. Whether with a comb or with your hands, this nightly ritual is a simple but powerful way to foster a sense of peace, vitality, and connection to yourself. And in my opinion, the calming effects of this practice are well worth it. A soothing, self-loving ritual that can make all the difference in your health and happiness as you grow older. 3. Practice diaphragmatic breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing, sometimes called abdominal breathing or deep belly breathing, is not just a technique. It's a powerful tool to reconnect with your body, restore balance, and find moments of stillness amidst the chaos of life. At its heart, diaphragmatic breathing involves engaging the diaphragm, a dome-shaped muscle located just beneath the lungs, to guide a deeper, more mindful breath. When you breathe in, the diaphragm moves downward, allowing the lungs to expand fully, and bringing fresh oxygen deep into the lower lobes of the lungs. As you exhale, your abdomen gently contracts, expelling air in a way that feels almost cleansing, as though you are shedding the weight of the world. In our fast-paced, stress-filled world, it's easy to fall into the trap of shallow, rapid chest breathing. This habit limits the amount of oxygen that reaches our lungs and can leave us feeling breathless or fatigued, even when we haven't exerted ourselves. Our bodies respond to stress by quickening our breath, and without realizing it, we breathe faster but less effectively. It's as if our breath becomes a reflection of our anxiety, shallow and fragmented, rather than full and nourishing. As we age, this tendency to breathe shallowly often becomes more pronounced. We become more aware of our physical limitations, and with each passing year, our breath seems to tighten and constrict along with the anxieties we carry. But here's the beauty. Diaphragmatic breathing offers a way back to the fullness of life, to a sense of peace and vitality that we might have forgotten we could experience. When you consciously practice deep abdominal breathing, you are retraining your body to slow down and breathe deeply, taking in oxygen with the rhythm and intention it deserves. The benefits of diaphragmatic breathing extend beyond simply feeling calmer. When you engage the diaphragm fully, you increase the volume of air entering your lungs, ensuring that oxygen reaches areas of your lungs that might otherwise be underutilized. This deep breathing promotes more efficient oxygen exchange, helping to regulate the levels of oxygen in your blood and improving your lung function. Every time you exhale, your body releases carbonic gas more effectively, providing a sense of relief and renewal. With consistent practice, the long-term benefits of this technique become even more evident, offering a profound sense of well-being and physical rejuvenation. For those struggling with stress, anxiety, or tension, diaphragmatic breathing is a refuge. When you take a slow, deep breath, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for rest. In moments, you feel your stress melt away, replaced by a deep, calm peace that seems to radiate from within. It's as though the very act of breathing consciously allows you to reconnect with your body in a way that quiets the noise of the outside world. But the benefits don't stop there. Diaphragmatic breathing has far-reaching effects on the body's health. It can help regulate blood pressure, stabilize your heartbeat, and even aid in digestion. Studies have shown that abdominal breathing can positively impact blood sugar levels, offering a unique advantage for those with diabetes. By calming the nervous system, diaphragmatic breathing helps to reduce the body's stress response, which in turn can lead to better blood sugar regulation. The digestive organs, too, benefit from this peaceful state. Saliva production increases, food is better absorbed, and the movement of the stomach and intestines becomes more efficient. The result is not only better digestion but an enhanced sense of vitality, as your body becomes more attuned to its own needs. Imagine, for a moment, the transformation that could occur with a daily practice of diaphragmatic breathing. Each breath you take could become an act of kindness toward your own body, a small but powerful way of nurturing your health. The more you practice, the more you'll begin to feel the benefits, physically and emotionally. There is something deeply healing in the simplicity of breathing, in the act of slowing down enough to connect with your body's natural rhythms. Dear friends, as we look at the 3 things we should do before going to bed to ensure a peaceful, restful night, let's also consider the practices we can adopt once we are in bed. It's not just about sleep, It's about cultivating a sense of well-being, of deep relaxation, and of preparing our bodies to rest and restore. Together, we can explore these practices and build a foundation for a truly restful and rejuvenating sleep. In today's world, the number of people struggling with obesity continues to rise, largely due to a lifestyle that offers unparalleled comfort but leaves us increasingly inactive. While it's easy to slip into this more sedentary routine, we must not overlook the profound impact it has on our bodies. One of the most powerful and effective methods to combat belly fat and achieve a toned midsection is air cycling. By committing to this simple, yet dynamic activity daily, you can feel and see a noticeable reduction in your waistline. With time, your abdominal muscles will become firmer, and you'll begin to rediscover a sense of strength in your body. The research underscores the immense benefits of maintaining a daily cycling habit for just 30 minutes. Paired with a healthy diet, you could potentially lose up to 11 kilograms within a year. The magic behind air cycling lies in its ability to strengthen and sculpt muscles, especially in the legs, leading to a leaner, more defined body. Beyond aesthetics, cycling also significantly reduces the risk of diabetes, an insidious condition that can wreak havoc on the body, leading to life-threatening complications like heart attacks and strokes. Just 30 minutes of air cycling daily could lower your risk of diabetes by as much as 40%, a truly empowering number that highlights the preventive power of physical activity. As you engage in regular air cycling, your cardiovascular health will flourish. Your heart rate increases, your breathing deepens, and your heart becomes more efficient in pumping blood, enhancing overall circulation. What's even more remarkable is how this practice stimulates the intestinal muscles, improving digestion and reducing bloating. If you struggle with joint pain or discomfort, you needn't worry. Air cycling is a low-impact exercise that's gentle on your joints, while still providing all the benefits of a full-body workout. By incorporating cycling into your routine, you'll strengthen your muscles, improve your body's balance, and alleviate the tension that often builds up in the joints over time. In addition to air cycling, another powerful practice for improving your well-being is abdominal massage before bed. I can't stress enough how wonderful this simple, soothing ritual can be for both your physical and mental health. When performed correctly, abdominal massage can relax the body and mind, making it an excellent way to prepare for a peaceful, restorative sleep. It's not just about comfort. This practice can significantly aid in digestion, reduce bloating, and combat constipation. Even a quick 5-10 minute massage before sleep can make a world of difference, helping your body naturally restore itself overnight. What makes abdominal massage even more powerful is the addition of essential oils and acupressure. The acupressure points CV6, below the navel, and CV12, between the navel and ribs, can unlock the full potential of the massage, improving digestion and reducing discomfort. Research has shown that people who engage in regular abdominal massage experience fewer digestive issues and a noticeable reduction in stomach bloating and abdominal circumference. It's one of the gentlest yet most effective ways to promote digestive health and overall well-being, with minimal risk involved. Another underrated practice is tapping the calves before bed. This simple yet impactful method can do wonders to prevent leg cramps and ensure that your legs feel relaxed and rejuvenated by morning. Our feet, often neglected, are home to numerous acupressure points linked to the body's organs. Keeping them warm is essential for maintaining optimal health. Tapping the calves helps enhance blood circulation, relaxes the muscles, and even improves digestion by stimulating specific reflexology points. The technique is easy. Simply lie on your bed, raise your calves, rub your hands together to warm them up, and gently tap both sides of your calves from knees to ankles. This comforting ritual not only reduces soreness but also promotes deeper, more restful sleep. Lastly, tapping the back before bed is another nurturing practice that shouldn't be overlooked. It's an incredibly simple way to relieve muscle tension, ease fatigue, and stabilize emotions. By gently tapping or rubbing your back for a few minutes each night, you encourage blood circulation throughout the body, helping to calm the nervous system and prepare for a good night's sleep. This small act of self-care can have profound effects on your physical and mental well-being. In addition to these practical exercises, it's essential to understand that aging comes with a unique set of challenges, particularly in the realm of chronic diseases. As we grow older, we often face persistent issues like joint pain, heart disease, and insomnia. While it's natural to seek treatment, we must be cautious of unqualified or ineffective remedies that may do more harm than good. In our desperation to find relief, we often waste time and money on treatments that only worsen our condition. That's why it's so crucial to approach our health with mindfulness, seeking out qualified professionals, and being discerning in our choices. Our health deserves nothing less than our utmost care and attention, and we must remember that every decision we make today impacts the quality of our lives tomorrow. In today's world, medical science is making incredible strides, yet there are still many battles that we simply cannot win. Aging, illness, and ultimately, death are inevitable parts of the human experience. Despite all the advancements in medicine, some diseases remain beyond the reach of even the most skilled professionals. Aging brings with it a series of challenges, and some of those challenges involve illnesses that, when treated inappropriately or unnecessarily, only serve to drain resources, time, money, and, sometimes, health. One such illness is hypertension, a condition that many people, especially older adults, live with. It is one of the aging diseases that can be managed, but not necessarily cured. If left untreated or mismanaged, it can lead to life-threatening complications, diminishing the quality of life for those affected. And as we age, the focus on health intensifies. We start to ask ourselves more urgent questions. Is my blood pressure a cause for concern? Am I at risk for a heart attack or stroke? What exactly causes high blood pressure? These questions, though common, are not always easy to answer. Hypertension occurs when blood pressure readings consistently exceed normal levels, 140/90 mmHg or higher. If this pressure becomes too high, it can wreak havoc on vital organs, leading to heart failure, kidney failure, and even a stroke. The journey to managing hypertension in older adults is one fraught with complexity, requiring a delicate balance between medication, lifestyle changes, and regular monitoring. There is no simple fix, but taking charge of one's health can make a world of difference. Lifestyle factors, such as diet and exercise, alongside genetic predispositions, play a pivotal role in the management of this condition. These are the factors that doctors rely on to gauge the severity of hypertension and to tailor a plan that can help manage the disease. This underscores the importance of regular checkups, consistent monitoring, and proactive health practices. Starting this routine as early as possible is essential. At its core, blood pressure is the force exerted by blood against the walls of the arteries as it is pumped by the heart. This pressure is a result of two main factors: the force of the heart's pump and the elasticity of the artery walls. As we age, our arteries naturally become less flexible, which can contribute to elevated blood pressure. This is why hypertension is so common among older adults. It is one of the leading causes of strokes, kidney disease, and heart complications. Yet, despite its prevalence, the precise cause of high blood pressure in the elderly remains a mystery. Some researchers believe that narrowed arteries, a natural consequence of aging, may contribute to the increased pressure. Hardened capillaries and arteries struggle to circulate blood properly, forcing the heart to work harder to pump blood throughout the body. This added strain can contribute to the rise in blood pressure. Experts agree that monitoring blood pressure regularly is a critical step toward preventing further complications. Even though the causes remain elusive, the risks are undeniable. The American Heart Association, AHA, has found that nearly 65% of adults over 60 suffer from high blood pressure, often with a particular focus on systolic pressure. Interestingly, systolic hypertension is more common in older adults, even if their diastolic pressure remains normal. This tells us that blood pressure is not a static condition, and age alone can drastically alter its behavior. Still, the symptoms of hypertension are often so subtle that many people live for years without knowing they have it, until it's too late. It is why hypertension is often referred to as the silent killer. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Without regular monitoring, high blood pressure can go unnoticed until it results in catastrophic health events like a stroke or heart attack. It's why it's so important to be proactive about testing, because by the time symptoms appear, it's often a sign that the damage has already been done. And even when symptoms do appear, they don't always follow the textbook. For instance, many people mistakenly believe that high blood pressure causes frequent headaches. However, research has shown that people with high systolic blood pressure are less likely to suffer from headaches. The condition can sometimes cause the opposite effect, numbness or a lack of pain sensitivity, due to the thickening of the blood vessels and reduced blood flow. Nosebleeds, which many assume are a sign of hypertension, are far more likely to be related to medications, such as blood thinners, than the condition itself. And while dizziness might be a sign of high blood pressure medication side effects, it can also be a warning of something far more serious, a stroke. This is the paradox of hypertension. It is so often asymptomatic, so insidious, that it silently destroys a person's health until the consequences can no longer be ignored. It is for this reason that managing high blood pressure in older adults is not just a medical necessity, but an emotional one too. No one wants to lose their vitality, their sense of self, or their peace of mind to a condition that could have been managed. We want to feel in control, even as the years go by. We want to live not just longer, but better. It is so critical, especially as we age, to commit to health, no matter how small the steps may seem, and to empower ourselves with the knowledge that we are not helpless. Regular blood pressure checks, healthy living, and honest conversations with our healthcare providers are some of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves in the pursuit of a long, healthy, and fulfilling life. High blood pressure, or hypertension, is a silent and often overlooked threat, especially among the elderly. Its symptoms are frequently vague, making it easy to ignore or mistake for something else. Yet, when the pressure becomes dangerously high, such as when systolic pressure exceeds 180 millimeters of mercury or diastolic pressure tops 110 millimeters of mercury, it can be a clear indicator of malignant hypertension, a condition that demands immediate attention. Malignant hypertension doesn't give warnings easily, but the signs that accompany it, severe headaches, overwhelming anxiety, shortness of breath, and at times, nosebleeds, can be alarming and should never be ignored. But what does high blood pressure mean for older individuals? The consequences can be nothing short of devastating. Imagine the fragile blood vessels in the brain or eyes rupturing, leading to strokes or permanent vision loss. Think of the impact hardened arteries have on the heart and kidneys, organs that are already under strain with age. In the most severe cases, high blood pressure can cause sudden death or lead to heart failure. These consequences are not just statistics, they're very real risks that come with the territory of aging, and they must be taken seriously. But the good news is that with a little effort and vigilance, many of these risks can be mitigated. Prevention is always better than cure, especially when it comes to something as insidious as high blood pressure. Older adults must adopt simple yet effective measures to protect their health. One of the most straightforward ways to reduce the risk is by cutting down on salt. The National Institutes of Health recommends a daily salt intake limit of no more than 1 teaspoon. It may sound easy, but salt is hidden in so many foods, and making conscious choices can make a world of difference. Alongside this, managing weight is essential. Even small fluctuations in weight can affect blood pressure significantly. Excess weight doesn't just raise the risk of hypertension. It can also lead to diabetes and high cholesterol, which only compound the dangers. The importance of monitoring weight regularly cannot be overstated. Another simple but vital change is reducing alcohol consumption. Alcohol adds empty calories, increases body weight, and has a direct effect on blood pressure. It's recommended that men limit themselves to 2 drinks per day, while women should have no more than 1. And, of course, smoking should be completely avoided. Smoking damages blood vessels and contributes to their hardening, increasing the likelihood of heart disease and other cardiovascular issues. Physical activity is a key factor in maintaining overall health, especially for older adults. It may feel harder to get moving as you age, but even light exercise, like a daily 30-minute walk, can dramatically improve both heart health and mental well-being. Cycling, swimming, or even a stroll around the neighborhood. All these activities can boost circulation, reduce stress, and help maintain healthy blood pressure levels. The reality is that symptoms of high blood pressure in the elderly aren't always obvious, but that shouldn't stop anyone from taking proactive steps toward a healthier lifestyle. Regular blood pressure monitoring is essential. But while we're on the subject of health concerns, another common, yet often overlooked issue for older adults is constipation. It's more than just an inconvenience. It can deeply affect the quality of life, causing discomfort, frustration, and even more serious health complications. Shockingly, more than 40% of older adults experience constipation, making it one of the most prevalent digestive issues in this age group. What's even more concerning is that constipation is not an inevitable consequence of aging. While it may be common, it's certainly not normal, and it can be avoided or treated. One of the primary culprits behind constipation in the elderly is a poor diet, specifically, a lack of fiber. As we age, our digestive systems slow down, and our appetites often diminish. Many older adults prefer foods that are easy to chew or have a lower nutritional value, neglecting the high-fiber foods that are so crucial for digestive health. Additionally, tooth loss, a common problem for the elderly, can make it difficult to eat fibrous foods, worsening constipation. Dehydration is another factor that can exacerbate constipation in older adults. As the body ages, the ability to retain water decreases, and kidney function can decline. Many elderly people are also reluctant to drink enough fluids due to concerns about bladder control or frequent urination. But this avoidance of water only worsens dehydration, and in turn, leads to dry, hard stools that are incredibly difficult to pass. It's a vicious cycle, one that is both painful and avoidable. Physical inactivity plays a significant role in both high blood pressure and constipation. As older adults become less mobile, their organs, including the digestive system, begin to function less efficiently. Reduced movement leads to a slower metabolism and can contribute to both constipation and high blood pressure. However, this too can be reversed by making small efforts to stay active. Walking, stretching, or engaging in low-impact exercises that help keep the digestive system moving. It's crucial to address constipation early, as chronic cases can become a long-term issue that deeply affects an elderly person's well-being. The Rome-3 criteria, a set of guidelines used by medical professionals, is commonly used to diagnose chronic constipation, and it's based on symptoms such as infrequent bowel movements, hard stool, and discomfort during defecation. Early diagnosis can make all the difference in providing relief and improving overall quality of life. In conclusion, while high blood pressure and constipation are both common issues that affect the elderly, they don't have to define the later years of life. With simple lifestyle changes, mindful eating, regular exercise, reducing salt, staying hydrated, and avoiding harmful habits, older adults can manage these health challenges and continue to live a full, vibrant life. It's never too late to take control of your health, and making small changes today can result in a longer, more comfortable tomorrow. Let's not forget, the journey to health in our later years is as much about self-care as it is about embracing the beauty of aging with grace and wisdom. As we grow older, our bodies undergo changes that are sometimes difficult to navigate, and one of the more distressing challenges many elderly individuals face is constipation. In addition to the discomfort and frustration it causes, it can lead to more serious complications if left untreated. To better understand the root of the problem, doctors may perform a variety of tests to assess the condition. For example, a rectal examination may be carried out, and they might use the Bedtime classification scale, which offers a clearer and more objective assessment of the severity of the problem. These medical procedures are crucial as they provide tangible, evidence-based insights into the patient's condition. In some cases, imaging tests such as X-rays or colonoscopies may be necessary to uncover the underlying cause of the constipation, particularly if there's a mechanical obstruction in the digestive tract. These tests can be uncomfortable, but they are essential for identifying the true nature of the issue, allowing for a more effective treatment approach. For elderly individuals, however, medications are not always the first solution. Non-drug treatments, especially lifestyle changes, are often the most effective and safest approach. This is where the beauty of simplicity lies. Lifestyle changes, when implemented with patience and commitment, can profoundly improve constipation and offer lasting relief. Encouraging regular bowel habits is one of the most important steps. The elderly are often advised to listen to their bodies and recognize the natural urge to defecate, responding to it consistently at the same time every day. This simple routine can work wonders in creating a reliable rhythm for bowel movements, much like a calming ritual that aligns with the body's natural rhythm. Many doctors recommend setting aside time each morning or right after meals to visit the bathroom, as these times tend to be the most conducive for a healthy bowel movement. Along with this, increasing water and fiber intake plays a pivotal role. For seniors, a daily intake of at least 30 grams of fiber can help to soften stools and increase their bulk, making them easier to pass. This is a gentle yet powerful change that can relieve a great deal of discomfort. The importance of water cannot be overstated either, as it hydrates and softens the stool, promoting smoother digestion. However, it's important to approach hydration with caution, particularly in patients with heart or kidney conditions, as excessive fluid intake could worsen existing health problems. Probiotics, such as those found in yogurt, are another gentle yet effective way to combat constipation. Studies have shown that probiotics can help shorten the stool transit time and soften it, all while being free of the harsh side effects that often accompany medications. This makes them a fantastic, natural alternative. The benefits of physical activity cannot be overlooked either. For seniors, incorporating even light exercise into their daily routine can significantly improve digestion and alleviate constipation. Something as simple as a daily walk can have a profound effect on overall health, boosting circulation and stimulating the digestive system, thereby reducing the discomfort associated with constipation. However, constipation is not the only challenge the elderly face. Brain atrophy is another condition that affects many seniors, and its impact on their lives can be devastating. Brain atrophy occurs when nerve cells in the brain degenerate, leading to the death of these cells and the breakdown of connections between them. This leads to the brain shrinking inside the skull, and over time, the loss of brain tissue significantly impacts cognitive function. The effects of brain atrophy are profound and heartbreaking, as it takes away the very essence of who a person is. Memory loss, one of the earliest signs of brain atrophy, is particularly distressing. In the beginning, the patient may forget recent events, and as the condition progresses, they may forget even more important memories, such as their past or their daily routines, like eating and brushing their teeth. The emotional toll this takes on both the patient and their loved ones is unimaginable, as the person they once were begins to fade away. Cognitive decline can reach a point where the person may struggle to understand basic concepts of time, or have difficulty performing even simple calculations. This condition can lead to depression and anxiety, which affects nearly 30% of those suffering from brain atrophy, particularly in the earlier stages. The sadness and frustration they feel, coupled with a sense of helplessness, can make their daily lives incredibly difficult. Anxiety about the condition itself, paired with a lack of interest in activities once enjoyed, further isolates them from their loved ones. In some cases, hallucinations or delusions can occur, adding a layer of distress and confusion. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Language impairment is another heartbreaking symptom of brain atrophy. As the condition progresses, the person may find it increasingly difficult to express themselves. Their speech might become slurred or incomprehensible, and in some cases, they may lose the ability to communicate altogether. The emotional toll on both the patient and their family is heavy. It's painful to witness a loved one become a shadow of their former self, unable to interact with the world in the same way they once did. Personality changes are also common, and the person may become irritable or easily angered, further straining relationships with those around them. Unfortunately, like many other degenerative conditions, brain atrophy has no cure. Treatment is focused primarily on managing symptoms and slowing the progression of the disease. Medications, vitamin supplements, and dietary adjustments can help improve cognitive function and alleviate some symptoms, but they are not a cure. Psychological therapies and lifestyle changes are also important in providing some relief and reducing the emotional and psychological burden on the patient. Caring for someone with brain atrophy requires immense patience, love, and understanding. In the early stages, the individual may still be able to care for themselves, and daily life may not be significantly impacted. But as the disease progresses, they may struggle to perform even the most basic self-care tasks. The ability to eat without assistance, for example, may diminish, leading to choking hazards and increasing the risk of pneumonia. Infections such as pneumonia, gastritis, and diabetes may develop, further complicating the person's health. Coordination and balance may worsen, leading to accidents, some of which could be life-threatening. The reality of caring for someone with brain atrophy is difficult, but it also brings to light the importance of offering compassion, support, and above all, dignity, as these individuals navigate a challenging, often heartbreaking, path. As we age, the inevitable process of growing older takes its toll on our bodies, and one of the most concerning aspects is the potential decline in brain health. While we can't stop the passage of time or reverse the natural aging process, the good news is that there are ways to slow down or even prevent brain atrophy, which is a serious condition that can rob us of our cognitive abilities and independence. It's never too early to start taking proactive steps to protect our most valuable organ, the brain, before any signs of damage appear. The key is to begin as soon as possible, making small yet significant lifestyle changes that can have a profound impact on our future well-being. First and foremost, a balanced diet is essential for maintaining brain health. Our brains need the right nutrients to stay sharp and function optimally. Nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, which help stimulate brain cell activity, are vital, as well as vitamins B12, folic acid, vitamin E, and vitamin C. These nutrients play crucial roles in supporting brain function and preventing cognitive decline. It's heartbreaking to see so many people neglect their diet, turning to fast food and processed foods full of unhealthy fats, sugars, and preservatives. These types of food only contribute to accelerating the aging process of the brain, and the thought of losing precious mental clarity because of poor dietary choices can be a difficult reality to accept. Limiting things like junk food, canned goods, and smoking is crucial to preserving brain health as we age. Equally important is the quality of our sleep. As simple as it may sound, sleep is often overlooked, yet it's an essential pillar of good health. Going to bed early and ensuring you get sufficient rest allows your brain to relax, repair, and refresh. Chronic sleep deprivation, on the other hand, can have devastating effects. It not only affects our ability to concentrate and think clearly, but it can also accelerate brain aging, leading to memory loss and cognitive decline. It's heartbreaking how many of us allow stress and busy schedules to rob us of our most important moments of rest. A good night's sleep should be cherished, especially as we grow older. Physical activity is another powerful weapon in the battle against brain atrophy. Regular exercise doesn't just keep the body healthy, it also boosts blood flow to the brain, strengthens neural connections, and helps maintain mental sharpness. Activities like walking, cycling, yoga, and even brain exercises like solving puzzles or playing chess have profound benefits for cognitive health. It's not just about physical fitness. It's about nurturing a mind that remains vibrant and engaged. It's so easy to fall into a sedentary lifestyle as we age, but the consequences of doing so can be severe. We must prioritize physical movement to stay both physically and mentally strong. Managing stress is something we all struggle with, but it becomes even more crucial as we age. A calm and positive mindset is not just a luxury, it's a necessity for brain health. Chronic stress can wear down our brains, affecting memory, concentration, and mood. Finding ways to cope with stress, whether it's through relaxation techniques, mindfulness, or simply pursuing activities that bring joy and fulfillment, can make a world of difference. In the face of life's inevitable challenges, Maintaining a hopeful and balanced outlook is essential for preserving mental health. Moreover, it's important to manage chronic conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and high cholesterol, as these can significantly impact brain health. By controlling these risk factors, we can reduce the likelihood of complications that may lead to brain atrophy and other cognitive disorders. These are issues that many people face, but they can be mitigated with proactive measures like regular checkups and lifestyle adjustments. We owe it to ourselves, and to our loved ones, to take care of our health before it's too late. Sadly, even with all the preventive measures in place, aging still comes with its own set of challenges. One of the most overlooked aspects of aging is depression, which affects so many elderly individuals, yet it's often misunderstood or brushed aside. Depression in old age is not just a passing sadness. It's a real and debilitating condition that can drastically affect the quality of life. As we age, we are more susceptible to feelings of isolation, sadness, and a sense of loss. The transition from a bustling life full of work and social interactions to a quieter existence can leave many elderly individuals feeling adrift, struggling to find purpose and meaning in their days. The death of loved ones, major life changes, or simply the overwhelming weight of aging can contribute to the onset of depression. The symptoms of depression in older adults can often be mistaken for other age-related conditions, which makes early detection all the more important. If an elderly person seems to lose interest in daily activities, feels hopeless or angry, or starts withdrawing from others, it could be a sign of depression. They might also experience changes in appetite, disrupted sleep patterns, and even thoughts of suicide. These symptoms should never be ignored. Depression is just as much a part of aging as wrinkles or gray hair, and it requires attention and care. The thought of an elderly person silently suffering, unable to express their pain or receive the help they need, is deeply troubling. It's heartbreaking to know that with proper treatment, depression in older adults can often be managed, but too often, it's left unaddressed until it becomes too overwhelming. Depression, just like brain atrophy, is a condition that can steal the quality of life from those we love most. But, just like with brain health, early intervention is key. Taking steps to create a supportive environment, offering emotional support, and seeking professional help when necessary can all make a world of difference. Aging doesn't have to be a time of decline and suffering. It can be a time of growth, self-reflection, and peace, but only if we take the necessary steps to preserve our mental and physical well-being. In the end, we are all bound by the same cycle of life: birth, aging, illness, and death. It's an inescapable truth that we must face. However, how we navigate these stages is entirely in our hands. By being proactive, by making choices that protect our health, and by nurturing our minds and bodies, we can ensure that our later years are filled with vitality, joy, and fulfillment. It is never too late to start taking care of yourself, and you are worth every effort it takes. As we grow older, the reality of coexisting health conditions with depression becomes an all-too common experience, particularly among the elderly. It's heartbreaking to think about how conditions like stroke, thyroid problems, diabetes, and high blood pressure can not only coexist but often exacerbate depression, creating a vicious cycle that feels impossible to break. The physical ailments that come with age can weigh heavily on the body and mind, leaving individuals feeling trapped and helpless. For many elderly people, the struggle to navigate through these multiple health issues is further compounded by deficiencies in essential vitamins and a lack of physical activity. These factors, especially when combined with musculoskeletal issues that prevent movement, can deepen the despair of depression. It's all too easy for physical symptoms to overshadow the emotional ones, making depression harder to recognize and diagnose. This delay in proper treatment only prolongs the suffering, and it's something we desperately need to address. Another distressing truth is that depression can be hereditary. If depression runs in the family, there is an undeniable risk of it passing down through generations, affecting the elderly in ways that we can't always anticipate. There's a deep emotional struggle here, because these are individuals who have lived full, active lives, and now, as they age, they find themselves yearning for the very energy and activities they once took for granted. The contrast between their past vibrancy and the limitations they face in their later years can be incredibly difficult to accept. They long for more, but it is often no longer possible. It's this emotional pain, this feeling of being trapped in a body that no longer allows them to be who they once were, that feeds into their depression. We can't ignore the importance of providing support, especially from family, to help them rediscover their sense of purpose and joy. The role of children and grandchildren in this process is invaluable. They can help restore their elderly loved ones' faith in life by offering a constant source of love, affection, and connection. This emotional support goes beyond simply being present. It's about truly seeing them, acknowledging their pain, and reassuring them that they are still important, still valued. In addition, families can help guide their elderly relatives through a transition that many find jarring: retirement. For some, leaving behind a busy social work life can lead to feelings of worthlessness, loneliness, and ultimately, depression. Without the daily structure and interaction, they may feel lost and forgotten. Preparing for retirement mentally and emotionally is crucial, and family members have a vital role in helping their loved ones navigate this shift with grace and resilience. Beyond the family circle, participation in social activities is essential for the elderly. Humans are social creatures by nature, and as we age, the need for connection doesn't fade. If anything, it intensifies. The elderly need social interaction to release the sadness that often builds up inside them, and to remind them that they are still an active part of the community. Whether it's participating in local community gatherings or simply finding new hobbies like gardening, reading, or raising fish, these activities can offer moments of comfort and solace. It's a way for them to reconnect with the world around them, find joy in small things, and begin to feel the warmth of life again, even in their later years. However, as much as we need to care for their emotional well-being, we must not forget the physical side of aging, specifically osteoarthritis, a condition that becomes more common after the age of 45. The deterioration of joint cartilage is a painful, inevitable process for many as they age. The realization that the body no longer functions as it once did can be deeply discouraging. Osteoarthritis brings with it the agony of stiff, painful joints that make even the simplest movements feel like an insurmountable challenge. For those who are already struggling with depression, the additional pain can feel unbearable. The mornings are particularly hard, the joints feel stiff, and every step is a reminder of the passing years. For many, this pain becomes more intense on cold, damp days or during storms, when the very air seems to conspire against them. This physical pain often disrupts sleep, leading to insomnia, which only worsens their emotional state. The impact of osteoarthritis on daily life cannot be overstated. For the elderly, the simplest tasks, tying shoes, buttoning shirts, combing hair, become monumental obstacles. As the condition progresses, it becomes harder and harder for individuals to maintain their independence. In the most severe cases, they may require assistance with even the most basic activities. It's heartbreaking to witness the gradual loss of autonomy, and we must find ways to alleviate their suffering, not just physically but emotionally as well. That being said, we must also emphasize prevention. Though osteoarthritis can't be entirely avoided, some steps can significantly reduce the risk and slow its progression. Keeping warm, especially during the colder months, is one of the simplest yet most effective measures. Using heating pads, massaging muscles with soybean oil specifically designed for the elderly, and wearing scarves, gloves, and socks can make a huge difference in improving blood circulation and alleviating joint pain. In addition to warmth, proper nutrition plays a crucial role. Elderly individuals need to ensure they are consuming enough vitamin C, found in fruits like oranges, blueberries, and grapefruits, which can help maintain joint health. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in walnuts, soybeans, and leafy greens, are also essential for their anti-inflammatory properties. These small adjustments in diet can help reduce inflammation and improve the overall quality of life. On the other hand, certain foods can exacerbate arthritis symptoms and should be avoided. Foods high in phosphorus, such as processed and fried foods, sodas, and red meat, can cause an imbalance in calcium and phosphorus levels in the body, weakening bones and making them more prone to fractures. High animal fat intake should also be limited, as it can inflame the joints, making the pain more unbearable. By making thoughtful changes in diet and lifestyle, we can help our elderly loved ones live with greater comfort and dignity in their later years. In the end, aging is a journey that comes with both beautiful moments and inevitable challenges. As we witness our loved ones grow older, it's our responsibility to provide the love, care, and support they need, emotionally, physically, and mentally. It's not always easy, but with understanding and patience, we can help them navigate this stage of life with dignity and grace. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. A balanced diet, when combined with scientifically backed exercises, can significantly enhance the elderly's ability to prevent and manage arthritis. As we age, our bodies become more vulnerable to various health issues, but taking proactive measures can make a world of difference. One of the most powerful tools we have is sunlight, particularly in the early morning hours between 6 to 8 a.m. This precious time allows older adults to absorb much-needed vitamin D, a vital nutrient that plays an essential role in strengthening bones and boosting immunity. With our bodies changing as we age, it's crucial to engage in daily, gentle exercises that focus on rotating joints, such as the neck, hips, knees, and fingers. These exercises may seem small, but they are incredibly impactful in preventing joint stiffness and promoting overall mobility. It's amazing how something as simple as a daily routine of light movement can have such profound effects on one's quality of life. On the other hand, one condition that often goes overlooked, but can significantly impact well-being, is indigestion. Indigestion refers to a range of discomforts occurring in the esophagus, stomach, and duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. One common form of indigestion is functional dyspepsia, also known as non-ulcer indigestion, which affects millions of people. Up to 6 out of 10 individuals will experience this condition at some point, though it's more commonly seen in younger adults. Interestingly, women are affected more than men, which adds another layer of complexity. While functional dyspepsia is not life-threatening, it can still decrease the quality of life, and the symptoms can be deeply uncomfortable. Imagine the frustration of experiencing burning sensations, bloating, or a feeling of fullness even after eating only a small amount. For those who suffer from it, the discomfort can be both emotionally and physically draining. The symptoms of indigestion are often vague, making it challenging to identify. They can range from mild to severe and might present as a burning feeling in the upper abdomen or a sensation of nausea, vomiting, and bloating. In some cases, it can feel as though the stomach is in knots, making it difficult to enjoy a meal or even go about your day without feeling weighed down. This discomfort tends to come and go, sometimes lasting for a few days or only occurring occasionally, but often worsening after a large meal, eating too quickly, or when stress takes its toll. The emotional burden of these symptoms can be overwhelming, especially when they radiate to other parts of the body, such as the chest, neck, or back. The pain can sometimes be mistaken for heart-related issues, leading to unnecessary panic and medical interventions. It's a stark reminder of how closely our physical and emotional well-being are connected. Unfortunately, the cause of functional dyspepsia remains elusive. Some patients may develop it due to factors shared with irritable bowel syndrome, while there is still some belief that an infection with Helicobacter pylori bacteria could be a trigger. However, despite extensive research, there's no clear evidence that eradicating this infection improves the condition. It's as though our bodies sometimes rebel without a clear reason, leaving us to navigate the discomfort without a roadmap. Several lifestyle factors and food choices can worsen indigestion symptoms, making it even more challenging to manage. Foods like coffee, spicy or sour dishes, fatty foods, carbonated drinks, and even chocolate can exacerbate the discomfort. Yet, it's important to remember that everyone's body responds differently, so what affects one person may not bother another. Lifestyle habits such as smoking, drinking alcohol, and being overweight can also play a role in making the symptoms more severe. The emotional toll of dealing with these triggers can be draining, as it often feels like one is caught in a vicious cycle. It can be incredibly frustrating to avoid things that once brought comfort and joy, but ultimately, prioritizing one's health becomes the only choice. On top of that, stress is a major player. The emotional weight of constant worrying or feeling overwhelmed can manifest in the form of indigestion. Medications, though necessary for some, can also affect digestion. Anti-inflammatory drugs like urine napos and aspirin, for example, impact esophageal motility, while nitrates and other common medications have similar effects. Despite these side effects, the benefits of these medications may outweigh the discomfort, creating a delicate balance between managing existing health issues and dealing with new ones. Interestingly, about 1 in 3 people with non-ulcer indigestion also suffer from irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. IBS adds another layer of complexity, with symptoms such as abdominal pain, bloating, and irregular bowel movements. The emotional impact of IBS is profound, as it can affect daily routines, social events, and overall happiness. It's as though your body becomes a source of constant distress, making you feel disconnected from the life you once knew. To diagnose functional indigestion, doctors must rule out other conditions like ulcers, gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, or even cancer. The testing process is extensive and involves a range of diagnostic tools, including abdominal ultrasound, endoscopy, and stool tests. But when all the results come back negative, functional indigestion is often diagnosed. This process, though essential, can be emotionally exhausting, leaving individuals feeling uncertain and anxious. Moreover, this condition is often not initially considered until patients reach the age of 60 and begin presenting specific signs, such as unexplained weight loss or blood in the stool. This can lead to further feelings of fear, as these signs can mimic more serious health concerns. In the end, managing indigestion isn't just about physical care. It's about embracing the emotional journey as well. The discomfort, the uncertainty, and the adjustments one must make are all part of a larger process of understanding and accepting our bodies as they age. In the final moments of today's program, we'll hear a story that brings us into the tangled emotions of family and property, a story called Two Windows. This tale centers on an elderly man who, alongside his wife, was anxiously calculating the future of their family's house, a home with 2 coveted corner fronts. But what was supposed to be a simple discussion of property transfer turned into a whirlwind of conflict, uncertainty, and deep emotional tension. The elderly mother-in-law, frail and nearing the end of her days, became the central figure in this drama. The man, terrified of what would happen once she passed, pushed relentlessly for the house to be transferred into his name as soon as possible. He feared the potential disputes, the chaos of inheritance, and the messy complications that could arise without this transfer. The mother-in-law had no other property, and the house, in the man's mind, was the final piece of security they could hold onto in the face of loss. But the man's wife, his partner in this complex web of family ties, resisted. She wasn't so sure. Despite his insistence, his wife hesitated, her heart torn between duty and a deep sense of reluctance. Why couldn't she see it his way? Why didn't she understand the urgency? The man couldn't comprehend her hesitation, especially since his wife was the last living member of her immediate family. Her sister had already moved abroad, leaving her alone to face these tough decisions. What more could she possibly want? He argued that without his financial contributions, this house would never have been built. He made his case. The property was now their rightful inheritance. The house was in their hands, and it was time to secure it, not just for them, but for the family. Despite the emotional pressure, his wife remained firm. There was a moment of internal struggle within her, a battle between what she knew was right and what her husband was demanding. In the end, though, she gave in. Reluctantly, she agreed. The man, sensing the fragility of his wife's agreement, reassured her that even though the house was still technically in her mother's name, nothing would change. It would always remain in the family. And most importantly, He promised that she would still receive her share, everything would be fine. But beneath the surface, there was a deep, unspoken tension. The elderly mother-in-law had no other assets. The money to build the house had come from her sister's contributions, while the man himself had borrowed funds to complete the house. Despite his certainty, there was an undeniable weight of discomfort that lingered in the air. After much back and forth, his wife relented. The house was now officially theirs. The decision was made, but the emotional cost of that choice seemed to hang over them like a shadow. The elderly mother-in-law, however, remained in place. She was too weak to leave, and the couple continued running their coffee shop, a small but prosperous business that served as the heartbeat of their home. The shop was a local favorite, spacious, airy, and positioned in a prime location with two corner fronts. It had its charm, especially with the shade of a large tree that offered comfort to the regulars who gathered there each day. His wife, with her natural charisma and sharp business acumen, had managed to keep the shop thriving, paying off debts and maintaining a steady flow of income. But things were changing. Mr. Hahn, now retired and with more time on his hands than he knew what to do with, spent his days tending to the garden. Yet, his plants often withered in the heat, and his sense of purpose seemed to wither as well. Meanwhile, his wife, who had built up their wealth through her tireless work running a clothing stall at the local market, was constantly on the move. The contrast between them was stark. He lived leisurely, sipping coffee, and enjoying the quiet moments of life. She, on the other hand, was relentless, always pushing forward, always working harder to make sure their financial stability remained intact. Their house, once a place of quiet refuge, had now become an asset. She'd cleverly divided it into two sections to rent out, generating a steady income of over 30 million VND per month. Yet, despite their financial success, Mr. Hahn remained a man of leisure. He ate his 3 meals a day, savoring each bite without a care in the world. Occasionally, he would find himself taking the kids to school or running errands. But even these small responsibilities seemed like burdens to him. The idea of all this learning and business that his wife and children were involved in felt alien to him. His mind couldn't grasp the frantic pace of the world around him. Despite his apathy, his son kept calling, urging him to get involved, to help more. Mr. Hahn, still thinking about his younger brother, tried to brush it off. "You know he's my nephew. I'll help him. The place I'm renting out could go for 15 million a month, but I'll give you a deal, 18 million for 2 years. You're lucky. No one else gets a deal like this," he said, offering his nephew a price that he thought was more than fair. But beneath his words, there was a hint of pride, a sense of ownership that echoed through everything he did. He still couldn't shake the feeling that he had a right to everything, a right to control, to claim what was his. The complexity of this family dynamic, with its undercurrents of ownership, responsibility, and emotional tug-of-war, made me think deeply. It's a stark reminder of how, even in the later years of life, the struggle for control and security can overshadow the simpler joys of peace and connection. The story of Two Windows reflects not just the transfer of property, but the transfer of power, trust, and, ultimately, love. It's about the weight of decisions made out of fear of loss and the emotional toll it takes on everyone involved. It's a story of family, yes, but it's also a story about growing older, about the choices we make, and the emotional landscapes we navigate in the twilight of our lives. The fat guy stood there, a deep sense of gratitude in his eyes, the weight of his words heavy with sincerity. "I know you're a good person," he said quietly, his voice thick with emotion. "I won't let you lose out." It wasn't just a simple acknowledgement of the deal. They were words filled with the kind of respect that can only come after a struggle afterlife had forced both men to find their way in a world that could be so unforgiving. The fat guy, a man who had come from humble beginnings in the countryside, had known hardship in the city. The city had chewed him up, spit him out, but somehow, through it all, he had found his way. Mr. Hahn, ever the generous soul, had helped him with the wedding that had brought him happiness. And just when it seemed things might be on the up, the pandemic came crashing down. His cafe, once a beacon of hope, was transformed into a lifeline for the local militia, a place where they could gather, stay safe, and try to navigate the chaos that had gripped their lives. It wasn't glamorous, but it was survival, and in those dark days, that was enough. But while the fat guy had found some semblance of purpose in those difficult months, Mr. Han's world was crumbling around him. His wife passed away quietly, the loss so deep that it felt as though her spirit had simply drifted away, unnoticed by the world. She had been in the isolation zone but hadn't tested positive for the virus, so she was allowed to stay at home. Yet the weight of her grief, the sorrow of a mother witnessing her daughter's suffering, had taken the will to live from her. And just like that, the book of life for both mother and daughter closed. No ceremony, no goodbye, just a silent, unspoken end. It felt like the world had forgotten them, and perhaps in some way, that's how they had felt in their final moments. Forgotten, overlooked, and alone. As Mr. Han's younger brother and his children stood on the other side of the street, powerless to help, the fat guy's cafe became a symbol of survival. It was the first business to open in the neighborhood, while others remained shuttered. Despite the pandemic's grip, the local authorities had kept businesses closed. But because of the fat guy's quiet generosity, his cafe was spared. It was a small act, but in a world that had turned upside down, it meant everything. Mr. Han, though, couldn't help but feel bitterness rising in his chest. He had once seen the fat guy as someone to pity, someone who wasn't worth much. But now, as he watched his plants wither and his brother's fortunes take a strange turn, the truth stung. He realized that what had once seemed insignificant was now a lifeline. In the silence of the moment, the older man, V, let out a bitter curse, the weight of his debts crushing him. He could feel the resentment building, each day a little heavier than the last. The stupid guy. I can't even hear him, he muttered, frustration coloring his every word. But there was nothing he could do. The debts piled up, the interest rate soared, and his wife lay bedridden, unable to help. She spoke of debts that still hadn't been paid, and the old man could feel his sanity slipping away. He poured himself tea, staring blankly out the window, trying to make sense of a world that had no answers. His eldest son peeked through the window, his face a mask of worry, but the old man didn't notice. His world was closing in. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 5 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Then came the moment. Less than 30 seconds, and everything changed. The old man's house echoed with screams. His eldest son was on the balcony, crying out, clinging to the railing as if his life depended on it. Dad, don't kill me. Help, someone. Uncle Hi, help me. The old man, breathless, stumbled up the stairs. The neighbors gathered outside, their faces masks of curiosity and pity. Inside, the old man lay on his bed, the pink folder clutched tightly in his hands. He laughed, but it was a sound that wasn't quite human. It was more like a cat's desperate meow, desperate for understanding. Give this to me, I'll keep it for my wife. If there's no one left, I'll be the heir. The fat guy's voice cut through the tension, his presence looming over the old man. The laughter faded, replaced by a hollow silence. The old man froze, staring at the folder, as if the weight of it might crush him. Let me hold it for you, old man, the fat guy said gently, his hands steady as they took the folder from the old man's grasp. Let me take it, the old man muttered, his voice filled with defeat. The fat guy's eyes were kind but firm, as if he understood the depth of the old man's sorrow. The old man turned to his friends for comfort, but they had already deserted him, their whispers a bitter reminder of his fall from grace. The fat guy cursed, his words sharp. What's left of this house? Did you help buy it? It was all Mom's money, not yours. It was clear to everyone now. The old man's son had been plotting to take everything for himself. He had wanted to strangle his flesh and blood, but now he had no one left. He was a man without allies, without hope. The old man sighed, defeated. "Don't worry, I'll handle it. Please leave us alone," he whispered, though it was clear he was too tired to fight anymore. The neighbors, once supportive, now criticized him, and in that moment, he realized the bitter truth. He had no one left. No friends, no family, just a life that had crumbled to dust. From that day forward, he stayed at home, quiet, like a broken pot left forgotten in the garden corner. His wife's diagnosis of terminal cancer only added to his burden. At this rate, we'll have to sell the house, he thought, the weight of that decision pressing heavily on his heart. He visited his brother, but the brother had been missing for days. "What's it got to do with me?" the old man thought coldly, the final remnants of warmth in his heart fading away. Then came the siren, the sound of an ambulance outside, and the old man's heart sank. He rushed out, but by the time he reached the scene, the funeral directors were already there. His eldest son was crying, his face a mask of despair. "I know, let's take her home." "Don't bring her to the cemetery," the son shouted, fighting with the staff, his anger boiling over. "What do you even own in this house? My mother bought everything here." The words cut deeper than any knife, and the old man knew, deep down, that his son had been plotting to take everything. The house, the money, it had all been about control, about power. The neighborhood knew the old man's pain. They understood the struggle, the quiet grief that had led to this moment. And in the end, the old man was left with nothing but empty hands and the cold, hard truth. The house was sold for $7 billion, far less than it was worth. The debts were paid, but the rest was divided up in a way that ensured his youngest son could live in peace. But the old man knew that peace had come at a price that could never be paid back. His legacy, his life, had been reduced to a sum of money, a bitter exchange of what was once his. It was the end of a life that had been full of promises, full of hopes that were never realized. The old man, now a shell of the man he once was, could only look out at the world through tired eyes and wonder where it had all gone wrong. What a journey we've been on together today, exploring the life of this old man, his struggles, and the painful choices he was forced to make. From the bonds of family to the weight of isolation, the story has shown us the harsh realities of aging, loss, and the cost of survival. So, what have we learned from this? Life can be unpredictable, and sometimes we find ourselves at a crossroads where we must choose between holding on and letting go, between pride and humility, between family and independence. The old man's story teaches us the importance of resilience, the need to take control of our own lives, and the painful truth that not all relationships are as they seem. It's a lesson in not letting ourselves be forgotten, even when the world seems to move on without us. Now, I want to hear from you. What has resonated with you the most in this story? Is there something you've learned that you'll take with you and apply to your own life? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave your comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to continuing this journey of reflection and growth with you.